Okay, let's take a look at the Magic Arms prefab and your menu options for it. And so you're going to see this Magic Arms entry in your radial menu. That is going to show you these sub-menus and stuff that I have split and stuff up into. So let's start with the main stuff, which is of course the Magic Arms. That you can toggle on and off. And they have some wiggling and stuff. Then you have the eye flames that you can use to have some funny eye effects. And the finger trails that are going to show trails on your fingers that look very cool if you're in like a world with post-processing and stuff. Yeah, and then we have the fire halo, which is going to give you this fire crown that you can grab or others can grab and wiggle around. And then we have our fire aura and a sparks aura, of course. And these are all like world space particles, so they will follow you and do stuff. Then important, we have a deathlight that is going to be needed for some of the liquid particle effects later, which is in the main menu, because like you shouldn't stack too many of these if you don't need them. So let's check. Actually, let's do the second menu like this. You can stack all of the effects together, by the way. Yeah, so in the second menu, we have a fun shield sphere that does some wobbling and stuff. And has some cool shader effects for picture taking and the like. And then we also have our sun sphere. And these can be world dropped. And so you can of course move out of the sphere. Also fun fact, when you are inside this, your GPU frame rate might significantly increase depending on what world you're in. Yeah. So you have some, I'm not sure if it is going to show that much in like a screen recording, but you have some super strong parallax on this stuff. So this is just a simple sphere, but it is parallaxed. And it's also triplanar, so there are no seams and stuff. And then we have some bugging. We have some post-processing that we can also toggle on and off, which has some settings to it that you can change. Like chromatic aberration, which is going to give you some light effect. Actually, let's restart and show the effects without the emulator being buggy. And so like I said, you can stack all of the effects, and you can also of course move the locations of the menus around if you want. I have a free tool for that. It's called VNC Fury Menu Manager, I think. Yeah. And it's super easy, you can mass edit stuff. And you can stack all of the effects. And as I'm going to show in a second, you can also control most of them together. So if you want to have like a Kel'Thas Fire Mage look, or like I don't know, Fel Mage, a purple Elf Mage, you can use shift everything. Let's check the post-processing first before it is like emulator bugged again. Okay, so as you can see, you can change the chromatic aberration of this. Also the gamma correction. And these go from 0 to pretty strong. And so you can probably always find like a value that fits any world. And you can also U-shift everything, of course. And you can also glitch stuff if you want to have some cool katana scenes or what have you. Then let's take a look at the next stuff first, and I think the U-shift at the end. Yeah, so you have some footsteps that you can enable. And I hope this works. Yeah. So you can have some fire appear under you whenever you walk in VR. And you also have the same as a burst version. And so it creates like these fire bursts when you walk. And you can of course stack it. Like everything. And you can change the scale. So it goes like super fun. Then we have some funny fire tornadoes. Because why not? It's a fire asset after all. That you can enable. And then you can have up to 5, I think, fire tornadoes that are moving around and all. And you can have them with some sparks or without sparks. Then we also have some fire meteors that can be stacked like on top of everything too. And then let's look at the spring joint deals. I'm going to show this in the setup video, I think, because that's easier to show. But for the spring joint that you can also throw if you enable it, like with force from your arm when you do a gesture. You can also give the spring joints fire, and you can make that they multiply on bounce. And so you have multiple suns bouncing around. And you can of course manage the bounciness so that they decrease in jump / bounce strength, or that they increase every time they bounce. And so they go super fast. And you can change the gravity. And then something that we can actually see again, you have a large sun that you can world drop. Let's hide the cube. And this is world dropped automatically because like we already have so many menus. So you can have your own stationary sun with like the shade and the particles and the stuffs. Yeah. So yeah, let's continue when it isn't bugged. The emulator. And so we have the katana, of course, which is a fire / lava sword. And you can also dual wield this by summoning a lava clone of the prop. Then let's hide the fire for now, so we can look at the shader. So you can of course change shader settings if you want. For example, if you don't want to have normal maps on this and stuff, you can disable normal map generation. And then since this is supposedly a lava blade, we also have lava particles. And then can drop from the blade, and as you can see, they merge into puddles. Yeah, which is pretty cool. And so you have the lava SSR. If this does not show in the world that you're on, you can enable the death light and it's going to show. because this needs the depth buffer enabled. Okay, so lava, yes. Actually, that's T-pose. And you have this menu to change the location settings and to manually toggle the locations too. Like if you're in desktop also. So you can world drop it and everything. And like if you're in VR, you can simply make a grab gesture at the hilt and grab the katana that way. And if you drop it at your sheathed positions, so either around here on the hip if you place it there, or around here on the back, you can grab it. And if you make an open hand, you can also drop it either to the world or to the sheath. So effects. We have the fire, of course, that is on by default, and some sparks. So we have like fire blades. And then we have the lava as that. And you can adjust the amount of lava that you are going to lose when you move around. So you can do like lava slash and it splashes everywhere. And you can control the splash radius, which is the influence your movement has on the distance the particles travel. Yeah, as you can see here, in Unity it's way stronger than in-game. Yeah, so you're going to have huge lava pools if you want. Then, let's begin. We also have collision on this. On both zones, like all of these effects are mirrored if you have the dual wield sword clone on. Let's get our cube. And test the collision. Yeah. So you can have the blade collide with stuff. Like kind of a Star Wars-y effect, I guess. And then it sucks that this is bugged. Okay, then we have the U-shift. Maybe it's time to show it. Which allows you to U-shift everything. Okay, not everything, but most things. Some are regulated differently, which we are going to go over in a second. But you can... Oh, let's hide the cube. You can U-shift all of these thingies. With the setting. All of the footsteps, the super sun, all of this stuff. Tornadoes, everything. Which can be cool, because it lets you choose what kind of image you want to be. Okay, so this menu is working. What? I'm just going to hide the katana on, I guess. Okay, so let's go into the next effect, which is the... Let's reset this. Which is the Halo section. And this allows you to have your own fancy bank halo that also has a light option that you can toggle, of course. And you can control the light and intensity of the whole thing. So it can be full like edgy black, of course, too. And this has its separate U-shift, because like sometimes you want to have this different from your magic effects. And this also comes with some guard rays and a ground effect that you can toggle. And depending on how big you want it, you can of course change the size. So you can have it smaller, or you can have it like very big and very shiny, or very dark, depending on what you want. Then let's do the last menu too, actually. We have some cute butterflies that also follow the U-shift, of course, and the emission strengths. Then we have a throwable sun prefab that you can throw around. This one is using physics, and so for you it's always going to look good and be synced. For remote users, it kind of depends a bit if they see it at the exact same location as you. And you can enable throwing, like I said, and then if you make a fist with your left hand and an open hand with your right, you can throw it with like so you move your arm and you open your hand and you throw it. And if you finger point, you can summon it back. And this has a line that is coupled to the emission slider and U-shift slider. Yeah. So you can have that. Oh, and it disables. Good. And you can of course have some wings too, because like when we are already doing solar, we can also add some wings. Then you have some fog that is kind of subtle if there is no ground. And it is also subtle if the ground is white. And this, I'm not sure. The fog stays, yeah, good. And then we also have some lightning effects, because why not? So we can have lightning wings, and I've let the colors oversaturate themselves, and so you can have some cool blank enemy streaks in between. And then you have some ground lightning that moves with you, of course. And some sky lightning. And you're in VR and not so zoomed out. It looks pretty cool, because it's way larger. Then you can, of course, control the hue of these two. And you can control the emissiveness, which kind of equates to the thickness of the lightning. And then you have some spells that are gesture activated. So does it work in the emulator? Nope. I'm going to show that in the setup showcase. Like you have a lightning stream and you have a Chidori that you can use. Yeah, it doesn't show it on, I think. Yeah, and that's it for the sound effects. And like I said, you can stack all of these together if you want, as many as you want. I've been hiding this too. Yeah. Oh yeah, you have an energy aura effect too, and lightning. On the katana, oh yeah, and you have slash effects too, like normal slash, heavy slash, anime, weep slash. And a lightning heavy slash. Let's see. No. Immunity is buggy. That covers everything, yeah. And most of the things are connected to this U. And emissions lie down. Just the lightning and the halo are separate. So you can be pink ninja. Yeah. Okay, then let's go to the setup next and show the rest of the effects. I found that fun.